friends, my name is Emily and welcome back to my channel. Today I have to admit to a failure. If you've been following along this year, you know that I have tried a no-buy year. And I gave myself some leeway because I have witnessed over and over in the book community and experienced personally that extreme restriction results in failure at some point. So I thought that I'd given myself enough wiggle room. However, I have also failed. Managed a huge book haul that didn't even feel good when it arrived. So if you want to skip to see what I purchased, I'll leave a timestamp below. But the first bit I want to sort of reflect on this as an experience. So the idea behind the no-buy was that it was supposed to get me excited about the collection of books that I had already curated. It was supposed to get me to read what I own, and it was supposed to get me to think critically about my book buying. I guess maybe reset some habits that I had allowed to grow, some bad habits, I think. This is where it started. So if you saw my Q2 wish list, the shop with me video where I went through the list and I picked what was supposed to be one book, a treat book, Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. So this was the book that I was allowed. And when I actually went to search and purchase it, I had a really bad day and I allowed myself to build a wish cart. What was supposed to be window shopping, then said fuck it and ordered it. Instantly felt regret, and could I have cancelled that order? Yes. But I also wanted to reckon with why. And I mean, maybe this isn't something to do on camera, but why does purchasing things fill this void? It used to be when I was really sad, I would purchase things and then I'd get excited to walk down to the mailbox to pick them up, to open a package. And there was that instant gratification of this ooh, new shiny thing to look forward to. But the whole time that I was waiting for this order to arrive, it was with dread and intense shame that I had failed, that I had broken the rules that I set for myself, that I had no self-control, I guess. Because the thing that keeps coming back, and something that I somehow have to get into my head and really unlearn, is that there is no urgency to purchase. The whole capitalist system is designed to create a sense of urgency. It's that whole fast fashion thing. If you don't buy it now, you're gonna miss out. Are you really gonna miss out? Are you never gonna find something similar? Are you never gonna find the exact same thing secondhand? These books came in. I read the one that I was supposed to, my Q2 treat, and the rest of these books have sat here because there's only so much time in a day. I did not instantly read all of these books. So why do we have this sense of urgency? Because there's no reason for me to warehouse these books in my house. I could have put these books on a list in my mind and picked them up as I had time for them. There's something that I think I need to work through or unlearn about this, it's here now and it's a good price now. I have to admit to this failure. It's part of this process. So yeah, I thought it would be important as part of this process to admit that I did fail. Maybe fail is the wrong word. I had a moment of weakness that has caused me to pause and reflect, but I have to admit it. I can't sit here making this content about tackling the TBR, thinking about what I'm bringing in, and then not admit to folks that I did, in fact, fail. So with that being said, I'm going to show you what I purchased. So the first book is the book that was allowed, and that was Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. So this is the book that I ended up choosing in that Q2 treat book list. This is about a woman who is one of a set of twins, identical twins. This woman's name is Inti, and she works in environmental conservation. Specifically, she's working with reintroducing wolves to populations that have had the predators hunted to extinction, and their ecosystems are now failing because without predators to keep herbivore populations in check, those herbivores are eating down the sprouts for things like trees and other plants that are important in the environment. So like taking out one piece has this ripple down effect. And so she's part of a team that is trying to reintroduce wolves to Scotland. There's a little bit of a murder mystery happening. There is huge content warnings for domestic abuse, sexual assault. It's very violent. Also, the largely farming population does resist and wants to protect their livestock. So if you're sensitive to like, if the dog dies, I mean, several dogs die. I don't think that's a spoiler. There's some messiness with this process. And it's a lot of thinking about the human experience, the animal experience, our closeness to our animalness, and how we really affect environments even though we don't really think of ourselves as pieces of the, like, it's almost like we think of ourselves as outside of ecosystems, outside of like the chain of events, but we are very much not. A little bit like small town, suspicion of the outsider. There is some light romance with a local sexy Scottish police detective. I really, really enjoyed this, and I think it's technically small enough. It is. It's technically small enough. This could be a small book club book, and I could see it dialoguing really nicely with some of the other books that we've read this year. Next, we get into things that I impulsively hauled. So I really like Octavia E. Butler's writing, and yes, I am stuck in the middle of Lilith's Brood because it is challenging, but I am enjoying it. I happened to start looking at what was available, like what I already owned, what I was missing. I kept getting certain things recommended. I have the first book in the Patternist series, Wild Seed, and I was like, well, you know, maybe I want to read those this summer and I'll want to read the whole series and this is a good price. So like I found all three, so I hauled the rest of the series, which is supposed to be a no-no. I am allowed to buy sequels as part of my rules, but I have to have read the first book, finished the first book, and then I'm allowed to pick up the second. Not third and fourth, but I broke that. The only plus side is that one of the things that I am noticing about this TBR is that it is very white and male. I don't feel too bad about purchasing a woman of color, that I enjoy their works, so I have every intention of reading it, but why did I need to warehouse it? Same goes for Fledgling. I keep hearing about how I need to read Fledgling, It's going to be fantastic. I don't even want to know that much about it. It's like, from what I get, vampire vibes. The weird part of my brain was like, you could read this in the fall. Like, you don't have enough books. Fall is coming. You need this. Then I have Dark Archives, which I believe showed up on my Q1 wishlist TBR. This is all about librarians looking into the history of books bound in human skin. Very much of my interest. I am interested in like the weird, the macabre, anything to do with bodies and like dead bodies. I could find it at no library. It wasn't in stock at Indigo when I was looking, and so when I happened to see it, I snatched it up. It's that impulse of like, oh, it's here now. Like that scarcity mindset that is false. And the last book I have here is The Spectacular by Zoe Whittall. So this was the Indigo TikTok book. It was part of the TikTok book club. 3 generations of women blur the line between unconventional and dysfunctional as they explore sexuality, gender, and maternal ambivalence. I'm a former Indigo employee. I go back to look at the Indigo website just to see what I would be doing if I worked there. While I can recognize that Indigo was retail and I was poorly paid, overworked, had crap hours, crap benefits. I have a much better job now. I know that. I'm grateful for that. The work that I was doing at Indigo felt so much more creatively fulfilling, felt so much more emotionally fulfilling because I love books so much. Working there felt much more fulfilling. I did unsubscribe from all of the bookish emails. That was something that I recognized as a weak point for myself. So now I have to physically type in the website. I removed all my bookmarks. I have to physically type in the website and actively choose to go there. So it's much easier. It's not like clicks or like notifications come up on my phone. So I actively went to the Indigo website and I kept actively looking at them promoting this TikTok book club book. I really felt like I was missing out. Like if I was an Indigo employee, I would have participated in the TikTok book club. Maybe I would have gotten into TikTok, you know? Like it's one of those things where I look at TikTok and part of me is like, I don't really want to do that. That's another thing to maintain. And the other part is like, but that's where all the things are happening. I picked it up. I think this is like the most depressing book haul probably ever. But I had to do it. I had to be accountable. I feel like I can't punish myself for it. Since these books arrived, since I did it, I have very much buckled down on the rules. We're just gonna see how it goes. This is a process that I'm working through, that I am sharing with you, and it is very weird to, I guess, come head to head with like a behavior that used to be comforting. Like shopping for books used to be comforting and happy making, and now it is shameful because I know I have so much. It's very bizarre. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on any of these books that I hauled today. Have you read them? Have you enjoyed them? I'm very excited for these, and I am excited to do better. So by the time this comes out, there will be a new book club book for October that I will be sharing. I will leave it linked down below. I have to see what wins the poll. I can't announce what it is yet until the poll is finished. The two options that we have are very October appropriate. Right now the poll is between The Midwich Cuckoos by John Wyndham and The Sundial by Shirley Jackson. So two sort of spooky reads for our spooky season, but not like your traditional like Dracula, Frankenstein. You'll see what won down below. Thank you to my patrons who make videos like this possible. I really appreciate the work that they enable me to do. In September, when this video will go live for YouTube, the patron exclusive Red Rum Book Club will be reading Cujo by Stephen King. We are reading through Stephen King's books in publication order, and we've now hit Cujo, which also feels kind of seasonally appropriate as we move into fall, something a little bit more, I feel like, traditional Stephen King. Like we've been reading through some of his Bachman books, which are more like people are horrifying opposed to supernatural thing is horrifying. So I'm excited for that. I hope you're all doing well, that you are staying safe, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!